I am quite the mood reader, but there is nothing that I love more than crafting a summer TBR. It feels very nostalgic to me. It feels like we just got let out of school and the public library is running some pizza party reading incentive. And listen, I'm not mad at that level of conditioning. Some of these are newer releases that have really piqued my interest, so I'm excited to chat about these. Should I go from most on the nose to least on the nose? Maybe. So the first book that I am super excited to get into, which has been on my TBR for a bit, I just haven't gotten around to it, Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howard. This is like a coming of age story, but it's also a first love, obsession-y, girls in love with a friend kind of story. It says here, intense and all-consuming, like the first love it describes. Sunburn transported me to the heart of summer and the heady days of late adolescence. I won't soon forget Chloe Michelle Howard's addictive, lushly written debut. Yeah, Lucy apparently is infatuated with Susanna, and I am here for it. So I'm really excited for this one. I feel like this will be a perfect way. This will be a perfect way to kick off the summer. Very excited about this one. Next. This one, it's funny because at my book club, people were talking about it, and then literally when I got home, it was at my doorstep, and I was like, oh, very aligned. This one is The Compound by Aisling Rawle, and it's supposed to be like Love Island meets Lord of the Flies kind of thing. So this is a debut novel. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Winner takes all. From what I know, it's about a reality TV show that starts to like devolve, which is kind of like all reality TV. But I think also coming off of my inaugural year of being a Love Island fan, I'm really excited to get into this. I'm like very fascinated by the dynamics of reality TV shows. Like I think the idea of being sequestered on an island where you're surveilled for like weeks on end and you're trying to fall in love, but you're also trying to be human. And like on these things, they like cover time. Like there is no sense of like, I think it's just fascinating. And I will absolutely read a novel about that. Lily, a bored, beautiful 20-something, wakes up on a remote desert island compound alongside 19 other contestants on a popular reality TV show. Sounds familiar. To win, she must outlast her housemates while competing in challenges for luxury rewards such as champagne and lipstick and communal necessities to outfit their new home, like food, appliances, and a front door. The cameras are catching all of her angles, good and bad, but Lily has no desire to leave. Why would she when the world outside is falling apart? As the competition intensifies, intimacy between the players deepens, and it becomes increasingly difficult to distinguish between desire and desperation. When the producers raise the stakes, forcing contestants into upsetting, even dangerous situations, the line between playing the game and surviving it begins to blur. If Lily makes it to the end, she'll receive prizes beyond her wildest dreams. But what will she have to do to win? Yeah, I don't know. I thought this sounds really fun. I'm very excited. The perfect kind of plotty novel for the summer, I feel. So this one I have already started, and I'm like, I need to just sit down and like give it its time. I feel like I've been in transit and I've been moving around, and this one's coming out in July. This one is Lonely Crowds by Stephanie Wambugu. I actually featured this one on like my highly anticipated literary fiction releases. It's a friendship book. It's about two friends who like meet when they're younger and then like grow up, through time and are coming of age or are becoming young adults in like the New York 90s art scene. From the jump, you can tell that one of the friends is like obsessed with the other friend, but not in like a sunburn kind of way. Ruth is drawn forcefully into Maria's orbit, and they fall into an easy yet intense friendship. Ruth's devotion to her charming and bright new friend opens up her previously sheltered world. Yeah, there was like this braid of something very taut, the kind of friendship that you completely dissolve in, but kind of also find yourself in. Ruth is in the dissolve part. She hasn't found herself yet. I think in fact she's like bleeding into Maria. But it's really interesting to see her sort of try to outline herself and find her edges and silhouette in someone who she finds so consuming. It felt really heady and familiar. I really enjoyed it. I really like Stephanie's writing. Also, how gorgeous is this? I'm obsessed with this cover. I think it's the prettiest thing. I have set out these intentions to read more classics. I keep doing this to myself. Like I have very little bandwidth for anything else during the school year. And so I don't know why I keep setting myself up for failure, but I hope that this summer I can sort of get into classics. I have actually Kate Chopin that I really want to read, but I also would absolutely love to get into some Virginia Woolf. I bought 2 Virginia Woolf books after reading Brandon Taylor's takedown of Intermezzo, which I found highly upsetting. But I did like how he compared Rooney's writing to Virginia Woolf. So I'm really excited. I just picked one of them off my shelf. If you have, I think I have Mrs. Dalloway. I have another one, actually. Which one is it? I have Mrs. Dalloway and I have To the Lighthouse. Okay, so this one says a moving portrait in miniature of family life. To the Lighthouse also has profoundly universal implications, giving language to the silent space that separates people and the space that they transgress to reach each other. This one is also living in a summer house off the rocky coast of Scotland, so summary book, check. And this one, a vivid portrait of a single day in a woman's life. This is from the introspective Clarissa to the lover who never fully recovers from her rejection to a war-ravaged stranger in the park. The characters and scope of Mrs. Dalloway reshape our sense of ordinary life, making it one of the most moving revolutionary artworks of the 20th century. I feel like this is more summary. For all of y'all who have read and loved Virginia Woolf, which one would you recommend I start off with? Like, which one won't put me in a slump? I'm in a very tenuous, rickety, fragile place with my reading right now. I feel like everything is throwing me into a slump, so keep that in mind. But which one would you recommend as a starter? Virginia Woolf, please help me. I really would love to start to dabble in Woolf because she's prolific and I need to read her. And I feel like it's time. You know what else I want to read that I don't have on here? Another classic that I think is a perfect, maybe too on the nose classic, but I really want to read Summer by Edith Wharton. Maybe I try to find that one. I think depending on how this goes, then maybe I'll go to Edith Wharton. But I remember I read Edith Wharton when I was in high school and I vibed with her. And I remember in Trick Mirror, my Queen Gia was talking about Edith Wharton. So maybe that's something I explore. I feel like it's customary, it's tradition, it's ritual at this point for me to read a Lahiri. I have actually already started to read it and I'm at the last story, which has completely gripped me. I love a Lahiri short story collection in the summer. I think short story collections in the summer are great. You can kind of dip in and out of them when things get a little bit hectic. But yeah, there's something different about Lahiri's writing in this. I feel like Whereabouts was also a little bit different from her typical sort of tone and texture. The focus of the stories, like especially like in the belly button of the book, it's sort of a light to the margins and the people that live there. There's a lot of like forced estrangement in this, and there's a lot of families strewn apart. That sort of distance is explored, and I think it's interesting because I think in terms of her writing, which that Paris Review essay spoke about being very compressed, and all of the distance that she's sort of putting between her characters and the society that they're in, between her characters and the otherness that they feel with the mainstream, between her characters and the distance, the physical distance that they all seem to experience with their family members. And then the last story is really interesting because it's, I don't know, I like when Lahiri talks about romance or love, like romantic love, but she doesn't do it often, I feel like. Like in Whereabouts, there were little hints of it, but it more focused on the inability to connect. I don't know. Lahiri fascinates me. She's like one of my favorite writers. So yeah, I've very much enjoyed pre-gaming my summer with Lahiri, and I'm almost done with it. And I'm excited to talk about it in a wrap up, but I'm going to add it here because I'm still, it's still on the summer TBR. The next book that I have on the list that I'm very excited for is The Mobius Book by Catherine Lacey. I actually went to an author chat with Catherine. She was being interviewed by Leslie Jameson. And this book is interesting because it is fiction and nonfiction, and you can decide which part you want to start with. Catherine was talking about how she really enjoys like the physical object of the book, and she was talking about how like when they were doing the Kindle edition, they had to make some choices. So they sort of like randomized it by having the audiobook start from whatever nonfiction to fiction, and then the Kindle starting from fiction to nonfiction, so that everyone is having a dissimilar sort of approach to it. And also the fact that like depending on your start point with it, everyone's going to have a different experience of the book. I think that's so cool. I feel like there have been a couple, like I know Kiese Layman also had a flippy fiction book as well. The nonfiction fiction meeting at the center, having the acknowledgments in the middle of the book. I think it's just such a cool, playful book. There was a lot of conversation around humiliation. Focuses on a breakup, but it's not really a breakup. I don't really know much about it. Let's see what it says. For the Mobius book, I don't know which side I opened up to. Actually, I think both blurbs are the same. Both blurbs are the same, so just kidding. But okay. Adrift after a sudden breakup and its ensuing depression, the novelist Catherine Lacey begins cataloging the wreckage of her life and the beauty of her friendships, a practice that eventually propagated fiction both entirely imagined and painfully true. Betrayed by the mercurial partner she had trusted with a shared mortgage and suddenly catapulted into the unknown, Lacey's appetite vanished, a visceral reminder of the teenage emaciation that came when she stopped believing in God. But through relationships, travel, reading, and her religious fanaticism, she charts the contours of fate's absence and reemergence. She and her characters recall Gnostic experiences with animals, close encounters with male anger, grief-driven lust, and the redemptive power of platonic love and narrative itself. The result is a book of uncommon vulnerability and wisdom, and a heartbreaking and heart-mending exploration of endings and beginnings. I don't know why this came up in the chat, but I'm gonna share it here because I have it saved in one of my tabs and I need to read it. I think we were talking about like intimacy or shame or openness with people. Oh, she was talking about the scenes in the book. She was talking about the scenes in the book, but she has this essay about a WhatsApp group chat that she has where people just send each other their boobies. I don't remember what the thesis or intent of it was, but I'm going to share it with you because it's Catherine Lacey and we always love an author deep dive along with our reading. I'm gonna link it down below, but it's called The Transformative Power of Texting News to 250 People. We can read that together. We can read that as a community. But yeah, I really enjoy Lacey as a person, and I liked hearing her talk, and I'm just really excited. I think this is gonna be like a fun little adventure this summer. The next one I have is Hot Girls with Balls by Benedict Nguyen. This one comes out July 1st, so I think it like just came out. The promos or like PR has been so playful, and this one sounds like a very plotty, fun summer book. So Hot Girls with Balls is a rigorous and gutting satire, a courageous social fantasy, a realistic portrait of the hell that is humanity, a deeply felt book about love and competition. The blurb that got me was a blurb by Tony Tilithamudi, who wrote Rejection, and I thought that was like a depraved, excellent book, and I absolutely loved it. And Tony says, all the ills of the internet are here. The performed vulnerability, the eternal servitude of the peanut gallery, the paranoid feeling of all humanity constantly looking over your shoulder, including a couple of real freaks. Like any good volleyball player, Benedict can truly serve and knows just when to go in for the kill. Kind of feels like Challengers is back. Six is a 6'7", scheming to rejoin the starting lineup and barely checks her phone. Green is a 6'1", always building her brand and secretly jealous of her more famous girlfriend. Together they're going where no Asian American trans woman has gone before. The men's pro indoor volleyball league. Our hot girls with balls thought playing with the boys would spare them some controversy. Haha. Literally says haha in the flap. Yeah, this just sounds like a fun little summer romp that I am very excited to get into. Okay, so the next book is, which one do I go for? So this one is actually coming out in September. It is Sammy Schweppes. We love Sammy Schweppes. This one is Good and Evil. I actually don't know a thing about it. I'm excited to be in her world, be in her writing again. So this one says, 6 lucid, strange, and supple stories to lure us into the shadows so that we may confront the monsters of everyday lives. Ourselves. Yeah, I feel like I've only read Sammy Schweppes in short stories. I haven't read a novel by her. Like I think I want to read Fever Dream. I do think I am also in tradition of reading some weird translated Latin American fiction in the summer. I think that's always kind of the vibe. I need to be unsettled a little bit. Summer can be, you know, a little cloying. I'm very, very excited for this. My God, I kind of like want to start reading it right now. Can tell you the names of these stories: An Eye in the Throat, William in the Window, A Fabulous Animal, Welcome to the Club. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, oh my gosh, I have one more. So this one, oh my God, this list is like the girl who said that she couldn't read a thing for months now has like 12 books on a TBR. That's funny. Side-eyeing myself. But I do have a book on hold at the library that I have to pick up. I think I'm going to pick it up on Friday. But it is Reservoir Bitches by, Dalia de la Cerda. This one sounds so good. This one was longlisted for the 2025 International Booker. It's a debut collection of gritty, streetwise, and wickedly funny stories about Mexican women who fight, skirt, cheat, cry, kill, and lie their way to survival. And then the blurb says, life's a bitch. That's why you gotta rattle her cage, even if she is foaming at the mouth. I am very excited about this. Like, I was contemplating reading it in Spanish, but I think that ship has sailed for me. I think we just gotta read, you know? The bar is low, and that's okay. The last book I have is another short story collection. It is Self-Help by Lori Moore. I have been wanting to read this for the longest time. I think I mentioned it in my bookshelf reorganization video, but this is one that I would really love to get to. I remember I went to McNally and I just sat there and began to read a story, and I was like, ooh, I really like her writing. In these tales of loss and pleasure, lovers and family, a woman learns to conduct an affair, a child of divorce dances with her mother, and a woman with terminal illness contemplates her exit. Filled with sharp humor, emotional acuity, and joyful language Moore has become famous for, these 9 glittering tales marked the introduction of an extravagantly gifted writer. I don't know, man. I want like a little bit of humor and an interrogation of contemporary life, you know, and I feel like Moore is gonna deliver on that. That is it. That is my little summer TBR. I'm very excited. I feel like there are some other books. Like I have the Prophet Song that I keep starting. Like I'll start it on my Kindle and then I'll start it physically. I feel like I'm gonna sneak that in because I really want to read that. The writing is so yummy, juicy, glorious. But knowing my track record recently, we might not read a damn thing, and that's okay too. I keep telling myself, trying to convince myself very nervously. But what are you guys, like, what is on your radar? What are you reading? Is there any like new release that you're super excited for? Also, let me know if you are planning on picking any of these books up so I can report down below in the comments and we can touch base, because I would love to chat about these books in the comments. Yeah, tell me what you're reading, because I'm also kind of fickle. And I could totally see myself like abandoning ship and picking up a completely different TBR if, I don't know, if you guys recommend some good stuff. So yeah, I feel like summer is a perfect time where everything kind of slows down, and I don't know, there's just like more socially accepted time to read. Like it feels okay to like go to the park and just bake with a book, you know? So I'm very excited to do that. Hope you guys have some of that in your plans. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll see each other soon. Bye.